Assalamu alaikum dear students, Adab, how are you? Hope that all of you are fine. Okay, so here we meet again, this time class 11th, your new book Hornbill in English, textbook of English for class 11th course, okay, and you have another book there called Snapshots, which is supplementary reader. After finishing this book, you will be starting another book, Snapshots. Now, a word about your syllabus first. Let me give you a brief introduction of your syllabus this year. You have the different sections there. In section A, you have reading comprehension. There will be reading passages, unseen passages. You are supposed to go for MCQ questions. Later on we will talk about them, and you will have WH questions also, and then you have note making, and then you are summarizing, and for that you have 20 marks. Then section B, you have on writing skills, and you have grammar, that they have 30 marks for that, 22 marks for writing skill and 8 marks for grammar. And then you have section third, which is based on literature, these two books, Hornbill and Snapshots. For that you have further 30 marks for these two books, and 20 marks this year you will be assessed internally. You have your language skills, listening and speaking, जो है language skills में listening है, speaking है, reading है, writing है, वो आपकी टेस्ट की जाएगी स्कूल के थ्रू. तो जो हमने आज the lesson which I have selected for you today is in in your English book, the Ailing planet, the green momentous role by Nani Palikiwala. Now, first of all, let us know something about the writer, that is Nani Palikiwala, who was born in 1922 on 16 November and he died on 11th December 2002. He was born in 1920 in Bombay, now called Mumbai, in what was then the Bombay presidency to blue collar, middle class Parsi parents. His family name derives from the profession of his forefathers, who had been manufacturers of palkivins, that is palkis. He was Doli. He was educated at Masters Tutorial High School and later at St. Xavier's College, both in Bombay. He was a dedicated scholar and not letting a stammer. Stammer, he had some problem with speaking. So that did not stop him from going ahead, hold him back. He excelled. At college, he earned a master's degree in English language and literature and thus overcame his speech impediment. Upon graduating, Palikiwala applied for a position as lecturer at Bombay University, but was not awarded the post. He soon found himself trying to obtain admission to institutions of higher learning to further his academic career. It being late in the term, most courses were closed and he enrolled at Government Law College, Bombay, where he discovered that he had a gift, this is very important, for unraveling, for uncovering, discovering the intricacies, delicacies of jurisprudence. That was later on he became a jurist. He was a jurist and he was also a literal economist, and also of course he was a writer also. He was an excellent lawyer in his time. So this was something about Nani Palikiwala. Now if we look at the title, later on I will talk about title again, the Ailing planet. So planet here refers to the earth. It's the earth, and ailing, feeling sick, feeling ill, feeling bad. Now there is a colon here. That means there are two parts in the title. One is the ailing planet. That means the earth is now ill. It is feeling ill, and the colon. That means the second part of it is It is substantiating the first part, that is the green movement's role. Now we have to go for green movement, and it has already been started in 1972 in New Zealand. That is, we go for green movement. We'll talk about it later on. What's its role? Green movement's role. Now let me give you the introduction to the chapter. That means we will go for introduction to the chapter. So first of all, we had introduction to the author. Now let us go for introduction to the chapter. This is an article. This is a newspaper article actually, which appeared in in Indian Express on 24 November 1994. So this newspaper article was written by Nani Palikiwala and was published in the Indian Express on 24 November 1994. This article is a sad commentary on the gradual deterioration, that is regression of the earth's environment. यानी आजकल आप देख रहे हैं कि बर्निंग प्रॉब्लम है एनवायरनमेंट की, कि एनवायरनमेंट पोल्यूशन हो रहा है, एनवायरनमेंट खराब हो रहा है. एनवायरनमेंट इज व्हाटएवर इज अराउंड अस ऑन अर्थ इज आवर एनवायरनमेंट. So before that, I would like to tell you something about brief what article is. So an article is a piece of writing about a particular subject, that is there is a theme that is published in a newspaper or a magazine. Now our planet is no longer a pleasant place to live in. आपने भी सुना होगा, अपने जो घर में दादा दादी होते हैं, नाना नानी, या घर में जो अंकल्स होते हैं, वो बोलते हैं कि एक ज़माना था कि ये अर्थ ऐसी नहीं थी जैसी आज है. Fisheries, forests, grasslands and croplands need to be preserved. This is the need of the hour, and protected. The article suggests that we should try to limit the rise in population and stop the perpetuation, strengthening of poverty. The green movement started in 1972. So the green movement was started in, this is very important, you must remember it, green movement, it was started in 1972. So it was a movement, movement, a mass campaign, एक मुहिम, एक तहरीक अगेंस्ट दिस कि ग्रीन प्लेनेट, हमारा जो प्लेनेट है ये खराब हो रही है अर्थ, इसको कैसे बचाया जाए. इन 1972 is the only hope, now it is the only hope for the survival of this planet as well as that of the human race. Now this is the last hope. The issues whatever have been discussed in this in this article, which is the this number 5, and this is lesson number 5, it's chapter number 5 in your book, chapter number 5. Okay, open your books, you can go to page number 43. We'll have a look at the text also. The issues that Palikiwala raised regarding the declining health of the earth way back in 1994. You were not born then, because you were born after 2000, 2000 onwards. So the issues that Palikiwala raised regarding the decline health of the earth in 1994 continue to have relevance even today. That's why this lesson has been kept for you people in this book, so that you can understand it in a better way. Now before I go to the summary part of your this lesson, let me give you some word meanings of some difficult words for you. You open your books at page number 43, and then you can write down, there is a word recall in the first line, which means remember. Let us recall. Movement, as I said just now, it's mass campaign. Okay, and then you have another word, gripped, means controlled. Then you have another word, irrevocably, opposite of revocably. So by putting ir, you make it opposite. Just like we have religious, irreligious, we have regular, we have irregular, okay, we have responsible, irresponsible. So revocable means permanent, irrevocable means permanently. So revocably means not permanently. Then another word is mechanistic, so related to machines. You know, we find these days lot of machines around us. Then there is another word, actually it is highlighted here, it is an expression, a holistic and ecological view. Holistic means complete, whole, and comprehensive, all things put together, and ecological means concerned with the relation of living creatures to the environment of a place. So ecological, so it is, holistic means complete and comprehensive, ecological means concerned with the relation of living creatures to the environment of a place. And then you go to page 44. You can also check your, if you have any difficult word there, you can also check it through dictionary also. I am giving you some of the word meanings. We call it glossary. You know glossary, Glossary. Glossary. By glossary we mean the meaning of words in a particular context. Maybe that word can mean in some context some other thing, but here you are giving you the meanings of these words which you need for reading this lesson. So you should also, when you are consulting a dictionary, you should look at the entry of a word which you need there, because otherwise a word can have different these entries there, or it can be used as noun, verb, adjective, adverb, and you have to see in what context you need the word there. So you have the word consciousness. So consciousness means awareness, okay, and then you have organism, means living being. Those of you who are from science background, they must know this word. Then we have metabolic, related to a chemical process in living things that changes food into energy and materials for growth. Then we have another word, ethical, connected with beliefs and principles about what is right and wrong. In other words, it is connected with morality. And then we have stewards, caretakers, trustees, trusted people. So we must become trustees of earth. And then we have legacy, consequences. We have word catalogued, classified, listed, species. There are different species. Those of you who read biology, zoology, they must know there are different species, varieties of animals and plants. Languish, remain. Then we have ignominious. Ignominious means ignominious darkness, means unknown in a humiliating manner. Unknown, but in a humiliating, in a disgusting manner. And then we have another word, scorched, means burnt, okay. And then you have impoverished, deprived. Then you have ailing, as we have ailing also here. So I told you that this is feeling sick, feeling ill. So sick, bimar, we say the patient is ailing. Then we have, you go to page 45, we have synthetics. So synthetics means chemical compounds. Then we have unsustainable, that is not possible to replace. And then we have impaired, harmed. Then we have barren, not fertile, infertile, banjar. Then we have decimated, largely reduced. Then we have procure, obtain, get. Then we have another word, tropical, hot and humid. Then we have another word, evolution. Man has got through evolution, development. Then we have face extinction, have no living members, then precede, come before, and patrimony, inheritance, then we have eroding, gradually disappearing, then we have catastrophic, disastrous, ending in a sad manner, tragic, and then we have depletion, reduction, then we have designed, named, and then go to page 46. There you have certain words. One is contraceptive, way to control population, beget, this is the poor beget children, that means give birth to. Then we have another word, demise, death, transcending concern, major anxiety, dissociated, separated, and then we have transformation, change, and then we have felicitous, appropriate, and then we have freehold, permanent occupancy, then we have tenancy, temporary, then we have lease, temporary stay, then we have in page number 47, last one line, ancestors, means forefathers, means ancestors, Aba wa Ajdad. So already I have given you the meanings of these words, holistic and ecological we have here, sustainable development you have got, related to this chemical process, and then you have ignominious darkness I told you, language also told you, decimated I also told you, catastrophic, these words you have heard, transcending concern, that is major man anxiety to worry. Now let me give you the summary, because you are supposed to read this article yourself when you are sitting at home. What you do, this is 1, 2, 3, 4.5 pages. So it will just take you, if you read it in 2 days also, one day half an hour, next day half an hour, you will read it, because you are supposed to read the text. I will be explaining things for you. What I will do is that we will go the summary part of it by I will give you the major ideas through paragraphs. So here I would like to drop this, and I will talk to you about different points here. Number 1, you have here what's called as first we will talk about the green movement. In the initial part of the article, the writer talks about the green movement. So what is green movement? The green movement, which was started in 1972, is one of the most important movements that captivated the imagination of the entire human race. इनको grip किया. At that time, the world's first nationwide green party was founded in New Zealand. The movement has been a great success since then, since 1972. So it was started in 1972 in New Zealand. A revolutionary change has come in the perception of human beings. That is, perception, ways of thinking, approach, view, mind, सोच में एक तब्दीली आई है. क्या कि वो क्या है कि bringing human beings in a holistic and ecological view of the world, there has been a shift, paradigm shift from the understanding developed by Copernicus. Copernicus ने 16th century में ये कहा था कि अर्थ जो है इट्स राउंड, इट गोज अराउंड द सन, इट्स अ प्लैनेट, इट्स नॉट द सेंटर ऑफ द यूनिवर्स. क्योंकि तब तक लोगों का एक आइडिया था कि द अर्थ इज द सेंटर ऑफ द यूनिवर्स, एंड नॉट ओनली सन बट ऑल स्टार्स, ऑल अदर प्लैनेट्स रिवॉल्व अराउंड द अर्थ. ही गेव a new idea which was later on substantiated by Galileo. So Copernicus stated in the 16th century that the earth and the other planets revolved around the sun. For the first time, there is a growing worldwide realization that the earth itself is a living organism. यानी ये जो पहली बार कॉपरनिकस के बाद पहली बार पता चला कि अर्थ जो है, एक तो ये रिवॉल्व कर रही है अराउंड द सन, दूसरा ये पहली बार पता चला कि ये भी एक लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म है. It has to be, it has its own metabolic needs and fundamental processes which need to be respected and preserved. यानी हमें इसकी metabolic needs जो है, metabolic needs जो है, उनको हमें एक तो preserve करना है, respect भी करना है उनको. The earth's vital signs reveal a patient in declining health. लेकिन आजकल, हालांकि this article was written in 1994 and it was published, as I told you earlier, in the Indian Express newspaper in Delhi. तो तब की बात कर रहा है ये, लेकिन रेलिवेंट आज भी है. तो हम इस तरह से बोलेंगे, अर्थ जो है, अर्थ बीमार है, अर्थ से गमस बीमार. सो वाई? बिकॉज it has its own then needs. The earth's vital signs reveal a patient in declining health. Humans have realized their ethical obligations, duties to protect and preserve the needs of the planet. तो ये समझो आप, ये आपका यहाँ से जाएगा पेज 43 से लेकर, स्टार्ट से लेकर, वन कैन नॉट रिकॉल से लेकर पेज 44 अप टू जनरेशंस तक आइडिया. देन नेक्स्ट आइडिया इज द concept of sustainable development. The concept of sustainable development. So under this concept, which was popularized in 1987, so this concept of sustainable development was popularized in 1987 by the World Commission on Environment and Development. It defined the idea as the development taraqi that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. यानी हमें प्रेजेंट को देखना है, लेकिन ऑन द कॉस्ट ऑफ फ्यूचर नहीं. It means that we should pursue development for our present needs, but we should be careful about the needs of the future generations as well. So this is your here concept of sustainable development. And then we go to another, which is man and the other living species. Man and the other. क्योंकि इस दुनिया में या इस ज़मीन पे सिर्फ इंसान नहीं रहता है, यहाँ पर दरख्त हैं, प्लांट्स हैं, बर्ड्स हैं, एनिमल्स हैं, इंसेक्ट्स हैं, फिशरीज हैं. So man has been considered as the most dangerous being on the planet. Here he gives an example here. In the zoo at Lusaka, Zambia, there is a cage where the notes reads. वहाँ पर notes पे लिखा है बाहर, the world is, zoo के अंदर लिखा है एक जगह, the world is most dangerous animal. अब इंसान को क्यूरियोसिटी हो जाएगी, मैं ज़रा देखूंगा कि ये कौन बड़ा एनिमल है. Inside the cage there is no animal but a mirror where you see yourself. तो इंसान वहाँ पर देखता है खुद ही अपने आप को, वो बोलता है ये एनिमल मैं ही हूँ. Why? Because man has been responsible for the deterioration of this earth, for making earth ailing, as a patient. So inside the cage you came to know about it. Now with continuous and sustained efforts of a number of agencies in different countries, human beings are realizing, now they have come to understand, that they should not dominate earth but respect it as a partner. यानी we are as holistic, as a whole. हमें नहीं बोलना है कि ये दरख्त यहाँ पर ठीक नहीं है, इसको काटेंगे, ये जानवर यहाँ पर ठीक नहीं, इसको मारेंगे. मतलब we have to go together, live together. Man is thus learning to live in harmony, harmony, brotherhood with the other living species on the planet. Man's existence, life, zindagi, is shifting from the system of domination to that of partnership. यानी previously what man was trying to do, man was trying to dominate everything. है भी अशरफुल मखलूक़ात, लेकिन वो उस सेंस में नहीं है, वो अल्लाह ने इसको सब कुछ रखा है इसके अंडर ताकि वो इनको अपने फ़ायदे के लिए यूज़ करें, नहीं कि इनको मतलब इनको नुकसान पहुंचाए. तो पैरागन ऑफ द मैनकाइंड, यू नो, लेकिन इसका मतलब नहीं है कि वो डोमिनेट करे. देयर आर अबाउट 1.4 मिलियन, सो मिलियन इज इक्वल टू 10 लाख, 1.4 मिलियन लिविंग स्पीशीज ऑन अर्थ दैट हैव बीन लिस्टेड. बायोलॉजिस्ट्स थिंक, ये आपने साइंस में पढ़ा होगा, आप में से बहुत सारे साइंस स्टूडेंट्स हैं, दैट देयर आर अबाउट 3 मिलियन to 100 मिलियन अदर लिविंग स्पीशीज दैट आर स्टिल अननोन. इमेजिन, आप खुद देख लीजिए कि अल्लाह ने, गॉड ने कितने स्पीशीज बनाए हैं वर्ल्ड में, कुछ का भी पता ही नहीं है, और हर कोई चीज जो है वो अपनी जगह पर फिट है. यहां पर मुझे एक इमर्सन की एक पोइम याद आ रहा है, उसमें वहां पर लिखा है, ऑल इज वेल एंड वाइजली पुट. Earth's next is Earth's principal biological systems. Earth's principal biological, you know, relating to life systems. But Earth's, see, the Brandit Commission, ये भी एक कमीशन था, was one of the first international commissioners which dealt with the question of ecology and environment. Environment, I told you, whatever is around us. Ecology, you know, is related to, again, to plants, to flora and fauna of a particular area. It includes also these fisheries. An Indian, Mr. L.K. Jha, was a member of this commission. The first Branded report raised the question that whether we want to leave behind a scorched, that is hot, and a sick environment for our coming generations. यानी जो कुछ हम कर रहे हैं इस वक्त, कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि आने वाले जो जनरेशंस होंगे उनके लिए हम एक हॉट और एक मतलब एलिंग प्लेनेट छोड़ रहे हैं पीछे. मिस्टर लेस्टर आर ब्राउन in his book The Global Economic Prospect, is the name of a book by Leicester or Brown, points out, यानी उसमें वो बोलता है that Earth's 4 major biological systems that are fisheries, तो relating to aquatic पानी, forests, grasslands and croplands. These are the 4 biological systems. Of course, there are other systems also in this world, but these are the biological which help us. It's written here in your text. If you go here at page number 45, you will come to know about it. Then they did this. Okay, besides providing us food, they provide nearly all the raw materials for industries except minerals and petroleum derived synthetics. यानी बगैर पेट्रोलियम और बगैर मिनरल्स के जो भी चीज़ें हमें ज़रूरत हैं वो इनसे आती है. द डिमांड ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग्स ऑन दीज सिस्टम्स इज इंक्रीजिंग. क्यों? बिकॉज पॉपुलेशन इज इंक्रीजिंग टू सच एन अनसस्टेनेबल एक्सटेंट दैट द प्रोडक्टिविटी ऑफ दीज सिस्टम्स इज बीइंग हैम्पर्ड. यानी इसमें बाधा आ रही है, इसमें रुकावट आ रही है, इसमें ऑब्स्टिकल्स आ रही है. The excessive demand has resulted in deterioration, regression and depletion of resources, leading to the breakdown of fisheries, disappearance of forests, deterioration of croplands and turning of grasslands into barren lands. वो एक पॉइंट बोलता है, मैन मेड द गॉड मेड द कंट्री, मैन मेड द टाउन. जब अर्बनाइजेशन हो रही है, ज़्यादा मॉडर्नाइजेशन हम कर रहे हैं, अभी पढ़ेंगे हम ये. In a protein conscious and protein hungry world, overfishing is common. In poor countries, local forests are destroyed to obtain fuel for cooking, which is very bad because that they are forced to later on to burn cow dung, which must be used as manure. And then we have mankind destroys forests. Mankind that means इंसान, हम लोग, mankind destroys forests. So here we have the ancient inheritance of tropical forests is now eroding at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres per year. Acre, you know, is a unit of land area which is equal to 4,840 square yards, or it is equal to 43,560 square feet. Now, this growth, growing use of dung for combustion deprives the soil of its important natural, fertilizer. The World Bank estimates that a 5-fold increase in the rate of forest planting is needed to cope with the expected fuel wood demand in the year 2000. हालांकि वो तो गया, इस वक्त 2001 है, 21 है. James Speth, the president of the World Resource Institute, revealed the very alarming statistic that we are losing the forests at an acre and a half a second. 1.5 acre of land of forest is being lost in 1 second. Article 48A of the Indian Constitution states that it is the duty of the states to make efforts to improve the environment and safeguard the forests and wildlife of the country. Unfortunately, laws are neither respected nor enforced in India. If we talk about our own country, India, what happens here? The laws are being made, but people later on, they don't follow those laws, unfortunately. Now, over the last 4 decades, Indian forests have reached disastrous exhaustion. खत्म हो रही है. India is, losing its forests at the rate of 3.7 million acres a year. Large areas are officially designated as forest land, we are virtually treeless. So बहुत सारे forests हैं, area है, लेकिन trees नहीं है वहाँ पर. Now the menace of overpopulation, मैं यहाँ लिखूँगा, the menace, threat of overpopulation. The menace of overpopulation. The growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. Mankind reached the first billion mark. यानी पहली बार जब वर्ल्ड की पॉपुलेशन 1 बिलियन बन गई थी, it was billion mark in more than a million years of its existence. So that was world population in the year 1800. By the year 1900, a second billion was added. 20th century has added another 3.7 billion. So every 4 days the world population increases by 1 million. So fertility falls as income rises, education spreads and health improves. So fertility जो है ये fall करती है as income rises, education spread करती है तो health improves. Development is the best method to limit the population. However, development may not be possible if population goes on increasing at this rate. The population of India was estimated to be 920 million in 1994. तो तब से अब इस वक्त तो आपको पता है 1 अरब कुछ 35 करोड़ से ज़्यादा है. The population of India is more than the entire population of Africa and South America put together. More children do not mean more work, it merely means more people without work. So the only solution to this is voluntary family planning. Population and poverty are directly proportional to the other. Thus, control of the population should be utmost priority. And then last, you have very important, I write it here, era of responsibility. Era, period. Era of responsibility. Responsibility, एक जिम्मेदारी मुझे, आपको, हर एक को लेनी है, इंसान को लेनी है. Now this is the era of responsibility. Slowly but steadily, people understand, or they have come to understand, that the concept that the entire world should be treated as an integrated whole rather than a collection of separate parts. This is very important. Now man has come to realize this. For sustainable development of the world, everyone has to play one's role. Even the industries. Margaret Thatcher, she was the Prime Minister of Britain, and Lester Brown, जो भी आपने पढ़ा, जिसकी वो बुक के बारे में बोला, suggested that earth is not our property. it passes on from one generation to another with the hope that each generation will take care of it so as to pass it on to the next with its resources intact. So, the chapter concludes with the beautiful lines of Mr. Lester Brown. We have not inherited this earth from our forefathers, we have borrowed it from our children. So, this is the, something very important, something very beautiful message he is giving. So, now let us go to the theme of this message which we get from this article, from this chapter. Theme, or you can call it message, you can call it what the writer wants to convey to us if he has written this article. So, we can call it theme, I can call it also message that he wants to convey to we people through this chapter, through this article. The article, the Ailing planet, the green movement's role, discusses various environment issues. It was written in 1994, but is relevant to this day due to the continuous deterioration of the health of the planet Earth. This article shows that the Earth as an ailing patient whose condition is getting critical day to day. It also focuses on the activities of human beings which contribute to the depletion of the environment. So, you will learn about the Greek movement, about the green movement and its role in conserving the environment. There is also a focus laid on the human race being the most dangerous and destructive force in the world. A large number of species are there on the earth and everyone has an equal right to live on this planet, but the point is raised about the domination of the human race over the other species. The concept of coexistence, living together, co means ikathe, together, existence means life, is lost. There are industrialization, urbanization and modernization at the cost of a healthy environment. This article also highlights the facts and statistics about the trees being cut and the growing deforestation either to acquire land or for the purpose of industrialization. The chapter brings to light, we come to know about various important yet neglected issues which might cause devastation, tabahi, if not addressed immediately. You also understand the importance of conserving natural resources and how this planet is a place to live for everyone and not just human beings alone. It brings the true yet harsh reality of the destruction by human beings in the name of modernization and improvement. The article also tells us about the problem of overpopulation, which is responsible for the imbalance in the environment. So, you come to know about this, that the man role man has to play now, man has been responsible for this and man can now, if he wishes, he can make it again a green planet. Now, initially I talked about the ailing planet, the green movement's role in the beginning, at the initial stage. Now, again we will go to talk something about the title. The title of a poem, of a book, of a story is very important, because it tells you a lot about the lesson, about the topic you are reading, about the chapter. So, as you know, the title of this article is by Nani Palikiwala is the ailing planet, the ailing planet, the green movement's role is totally apt, to the point, justified, ये justify है, and appropriate. The earth's vital signs or that of a patient in declining health. So, ये यहाँ पर देखिए, the ailing planet. So, the earth's vital signs or that of a patient in declining health. We have over exploited its resources, but the green movement has changed our thinking. So, we have started to understand that the earth is also a living organism and we have to respect its needs. So, that is why we have title like this, two parts are there, the ailing planet : the green movement's role. I hope you got this in a nice way. Now, let us go further, and let me now talk about, to you people about, on this very chapter we will talk about reading comprehension. Okay, we will talk about reading comprehension. You have, this year 20 marks for reading comprehension. What's comprehension? Oh yes, very good. Comprehension means understanding. It has come from the word comprehend. Basically, you read to understand. Whenever you read something, anything, maybe you read for it information also, for pleasure also, but basic thing behind both pleasure and information, whatever it is, you want to pass exam, you want to, you are preparing for your these competitive exams, but basically reading goes for with understanding, with comprehension. So that's why we call it reading comprehension. It's a passage. Tomorrow you will be given a passage which tests your ability to understand the content. You have to understand the content, you have to understand the style, and you have to understand also the theme, as I said just now. Now, there are different types of passages. For example, you will have factual passage. Suppose this passage is a factual. Factual means based on facts. It's not, something which has been prepared, which has been made of his own mind. He is giving statistics which are exactly there. So, in this type of yes, this passage, you have physical aspects of a subject, which includes instructions, descriptions, reports. It also helps you to get a detailed view of the subject and develop a complete mental picture of a specific person, place, object or being. So, that is called, that we call a factual passage. So, you can have a factual passage, and next is you can also have a discursive passage. Discursive. So, discursive, it includes argumentative, where there is an argument going on between two things, interpretative, where you can interpret, and persuasive, which convinces you, texts. Such passages may include opinions or feedback. It allows you to arrive at a conclusion through reasoning. You have to think and understanding rather than intuition. यानी उसमें ये intuition नहीं चाहिए, उसमें reasoning चाहिए. It presents a balanced and objective approach towards the subject being discussed. And then you can also have a literary passage. As I said earlier, these two books, one is Hornbill, another is Snapshots. These two books are literature books. Here you have stories, different genres of literature. You have stories, you have plays, you have article, you have poems, you have different genres of, you have essays. So different. So literary means passages which are taken from poems. It can be from extracts from fiction, novel, from drama, from biography. That is non-fiction also, and that autobiography, travelogue, poetry, essay, etc. Now, then there you will be asked different questions. For example, you will have object type questions, you will have MCQ questions, you will have WH questions, you have inferential questions, means where you have to use your mind, rephrasing questions. For example, he will ask you to rephrase a certain line. Vocabulary based questions, he will ask you, for example, give the synonym, give the antonym, true, false, yes, no. There is a technique for that. We call that scanning. So you can have scanning questions, where you will have to scan the text, and then you can also have skimming questions. That is overall understanding, as I did today. When I, for example, I took this one by one summary, one by one point, that's a skimming I was doing. Now, let me ask you a few simple questions. The green movement was started in the year 1970, 1971, 1972, 1973. Yes, it is 1970. 2, good. The earth is a living organism. True, false? False? No, no, yeah, true. The World Commission on Environment and Development popularized the concept of sustainable development. Is it true or false? True. Laws are never respected nor enforced in India. Yes or no? Yes. Who said this? We have not inherited this earth from our forefathers, we have borrowed it from our children. Mr. Lester Brown. The choice is really between control of population and perpetuation of poverty. Here the word perpetuation means decreasing, lengthening, controlling, weakening. Correct, lengthening. The present world population is estimated at 4.7 billion, 5.7 billion, 5.8 billion, 6.5 billion. It is 5.7 billion. Nice. Now, can you give answer to these some of these short answer type questions? There are one or two I will ask you. See, you have a question here. Let me ask you. Yes. The question is, what does more children mean to the poor section of the people of India? So they think that they are going to earn more and more, but that's not true. Poverty is directly caused by lack of education, as an illiterate person is unable to meet the needs of the family properly. Okay. Okay, what is green movement? The green movement was started in 1972 in New Zealand. Okay, and it makes the people first time aware that earth is an organism and we have to take care of its needs and also preserve it and also respect it. So what do you mean by this? What question did the first branded report raise? So the question that they raised was, are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts or impoverished landscape and ailing environment to the future generation? Why is Earth said to be an ailing planet? Yes, due to the insensitive exploitations of Earth's resources of humans for their survival and development. We have used all the resources of fisheries, of forests and of croplands, grasslands. As a result, we have made earth deteriorated, we have made it barren, and that's why it is now ailing. Now it's our duty to help it. Thank you very much. I hope that you have enjoyed this, and if we meet inshallah next time, so next time we'll be talking about writing skills based on this article. Thank you very much.